Hey bitches, today we're going to do an EveryLift in tower. Last updated is 2 months ago, so I guess the building planning is complete, but everything else is not considered complete. But most of the building is, including the lift layout. Test sites are not my type, because, doing an EveryLift in an empty base plate full of random lift models placed. I only do film one of the lifts if I find them interesting. This is the building itself. It quite looks realistic, which is considered a good thing. Has handle doors, which is possibly made by Cortex. One of the lifts received a modernization. Let's say it used to be a KW Aqua 100 or 200, whatever the fuck that is. And the buttons are obviously KW's one. Here's the first lift. Parking lift. Obviously modernized. From KW Lift. Modded into KW Lift's Uranus. With KWC line buttons.
升降機門正在打開，升降機門正在打開，升降機門正在關閉，升降機門正在關閉 ，doors closing.
However, people think the buttons like Z-line and KWC set are separate buttons, yet they are the same shit.
升降機門正在打開，升降機門
The parking is not done yet.
Going up. 升降機門正在關閉，升降機門正在關閉 ，doors closing.
You cannot go to the basement floors except floor -1. Like literally. -4 locked, -3 locked, -2 locked, -1 is the only floor you can go to.
地庫第一層 B 庫啲升降機門正在打開，升降。
Now we got those lifts. Luxiar FX. There are high-rise lifts and can support up to 40 floors. Luxiar is known to be the most famous at making, realistic lifts using the Cobalt Plus engine. Its competitors are Cortex, which uses its own buggy controller that most people apart from die-hard Cortex fans dislike. And Cortex staff are extremely toxic and, they claim that they are not toxic yet. There's no proof that makes their claim true. The doors are made by Luxiar, which could be, fortunately we're not going to talk about that. This shit's made by Luxiar. This one is a, OTIS OH4000. There's this thing called the button panel.
往上 going up.
It's confirmed to be a fucking skyrise. Oh, an OH4000.
25樓 25th floor.
This lift is made for high-rise, but they use a high-rise lift for low-rise applications that are literally 25 floors high. They could just use the OTIS 4000H, but 4000 Edge is not made in Roblox yet.
$25 楼 25th floor 0地下已登記 Ground floor Register 往下 Going down
There's no minus button for this keypad, which is actually a bad thing. At least the search is quite fast.
Ground floor
But this cabinet is having some weird ass issue. This is the main lobby.
往下 Going 地負1樓地負2樓 Basement first 地負1樓地負2樓 Basement
uses
first floor
C-line buttons, which they call it KW setter, yet it's C-line. It's also in KW Uranus. The strange thing about this lift is that it doesn't have a keypad for selection panel.
25樓25樓 25th floor
The chambers are much more different. There's some odd thing about this shit. This is a secret lift that is supposedly under modernization. Here, you can use this lift by pushing the call button on this area, and this one will prioritize it. This one. And this call button will choose one of those three lifts here, while this call button only for this lift. This is a KW. You know, let's say it's an enter 2200. Perhaps quite basic, but this can be excusable because it's the service lift or the fireman's lift. It goes to the motorroom floor, which is floor 26. Here's some controllers that suddenly motorroom key. There's 3 keys. This one is for the modernization wall. This one's for the motorroom floor. Roof technical key. This is for the technicals on. This one leads you to the roof. Motorroom key. It's quite confusing. The OTIS skyrise mortar for 25 floors. And this is a KW AC mortar. Luxiar Absolift. One of the few paid models released. And this is the original lift. This is a trapdoor, which is quite strange. And here's some lift cabinet. This key will teleport you all the fucking way here. It's not recommended to get keycard 7. Because if you use the access card, you will teleport all the way here, but the keycard won't. Because the access card is fucking anchored. The only way you could fix it is by unanchoring it. Looking at this side isn't laggy, except when you look at this direction. This is a 25 floor building. I don't know if the person who made this is PolishElevators or not, because his building skills remind him of that person. And yes, for 2022, intros will be made for like winter side and summer side. This would thankfully save time, and then outros are reduced to each season instead of each month, meaning that I could have more time to work on, some shit. And here we are, back at the fucking motorhome. Let's ride this. P is the ground floor. S is the sub ground floor. -6 is the -6 to -5 is the supposedly coordinates. Look how fast it is. Peaks every floor. Also those 3 doors. Staff evacuation lift. The modelization door. Strange thing is that it somehow worked. Like, you can access this lift, but we're not interested to ride it. The strange thing about this lift is these ones are supposed to be up and down moving. Or not, like, this one's supposed to be up and down arrow direction, yet it's actually another up arrow indicator. It's just another up lantern placed. This is a weird indicator placement. Quite strange. Look. Like, literally. It wasn't meant to do that. But it happened, because it actually did happen. So yeah. This is legit the fucking EveryLift of it. So yeah, 5 bitches. What happens when I press Alt F4? Oh, it closes the fucking task. What happens when I click stop recording? Let's find out. 5 bitches for real.